This episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Jack Threads. On today's show, we put on our gloves and start fighting over the TV show Lights Out.
Today we are back with TV. You know, we talked a lot about The Fighter. That's getting a lot of buzz. The movie.
Not TV.
Not TV, but this new TV series called Lights Out, coming out on FX, seemed a little interesting. The timing, you know, Fighter came out.
Well, I'm the world's biggest FX fan, so anything that comes out on FX that's an hour drama,
you're in.
The guy with the thumbs.
Thumbs on this guy. So, Lights Out follows the life of a retired world champion boxer. Heavyweight world champion boxer, played by Holt McCallany. And his bevy of people around him, one of them being his old trainer and father, played by Stacy Keach, who doesn't look like he's doing all that great. Heather was like, "Is that Stacy Keach?" I was like, "I think it is."
People get old.
People get old, just like everybody. So it's created by Justin Zackham. It's an hour-long drama. Daniel, what did you think?
Was pretty gosh darn excited for Lights Out.
Conceptually.
I don't think. I actually was going to create a boxing show with a buddy of mine.
Nice.
Your buddy Zackham.
Yeah, God damn it!
Justin Zackham screwed me out of my cut.
No, I love boxing movies. I love fighting movies, fighting stories like the Western. They are metaphors for all life experiences, to fight and to be a fighter and all those things. So I was really, you know, thrilled that they were coming out with a serialized boxing story. What a great idea! Why has no one done it yet? I can't believe it. Finally did it.
I sense a turn.
Sense a downturn. There was a downturn because nothing interesting happened in this. The acting is all not wonderful, and I imagine maybe if I wanted to stick with the story, the characters might grow on me. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me say one positive thing.
It's about boxing.
They do the FX thing where they F with the structure quite a bit.
Not really.
But they did. Well, it's in quite a few of the FX shows.
Damages. Name one other one.
The Terriers. And
not really.
What's the other one that we just talked about?
Terriers doesn't really do that.
And Breaking Bad. Boom.
Breaking Bad doesn't do it either. It does it at the very beginning.
Right, yes.
This does it in a much different way.
Anyway,
go on.
Well, what's so brilliant about the way that they F with the structure, I hope that another movie may borrow as
Breaking
well,
Bad isn't FX.
is that
It's AMC, but that's okay, go.
it aired on FX in Canada, I think, because that's where I watched it. Anyway, what they do with the structure that's really cool is they don't like stop a scene early and then show you it later. They do the show you it later part, but it never feels like it's stopped early.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that was it. I wasn't like waiting for them to pay that off. Like it literally was like, oh, we didn't even show you that.
Yeah, it's like a twist.
Yeah, it was really smart and cool. But what watching this show, I've seen the first 2 episodes. What watching this show is like, I mean, it's a company, man. Like, but not nearly as well made. It's like everything that happens in the show is a conversation about finances. It's like literally, like almost the majority of the time, they're like, he's worried about finances, and this lawyer says this thing about this. I'm like, this is what I'm watching. It's so
this is boxing?
boring. And there is some boxing. Actually, the boxing sequences are well done, though brief.
Interesting, Jeffrey.
Well, you know, ever since The Sopranos, where we had family man with crazy job, we've had a whole series of family man who has to trying to be a good dad, but he's a mobster, trying to be a good dad, but he sells meth, trying to be a good dad, but he's a male gigolo, trying to be a good dad, but you know, there's like so many of those shows, and almost all of them I love. So even though it's a kind of a played out trope that we're getting another one of, I really tend to dig those shows because I like that
conflicted man.
Well, yeah, I like the mundane, everyday stuff of life juxtaposed to these wild, even The Shield, greatest show ever, was like that.
Yeah.
The
sort of family life.
Family life trying to
BS.
juggle with being almost a superhuman cop. And I actually like this show a lot. I really like the main character. I think the actor is very accessible, and I love his sort of quiet dignity. And I found a lot to like. I love the structural stuff, and I don't think it's just another one of those FX kinds of things.
I don't think so either.
That's kind of what you said.
No, what I said was that FX seems to do that a lot, but I thought this was genuinely cool.
I think this show does it in a way that I haven't seen any other show do, like you said, and I really appreciated that. It feels almost like we're inside the head of the boxer who's kind of been scrambled a little bit, the moments come back to him at odd times. Almost how they come back to us, the audience, at odd times.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with it. FX has never really pulled me wrong. I think this is my favorite network. I think it's trumped HBO.
Wow, all right.
And yes, I can hear everyone sitting down to type, Sons of Anarchy, Sons of Anarchy. The first disc just arrived at my house via Netflix.
Oh, that's sweet.
Sons of Anarchy.
Amazing. I think I sit probably right between you guys, and I sit on Dan's side the first half an hour of the pilot, and I sit on your side the last half an hour of that pilot. Boy, when this thing started, I was like, oh my God, the chemistry between the main character and his business partner is non-existent. The financial stuff is like, I could care less.
That's the kid from The Wire, by the way.
It is, and he's great in The Wire.
Yeah.
And just everything just felt trite and not truthful and just boring stuff. Then the latter half of that pilot episode happened, and I went, there is something here that can be mined. Whether that continues to be mined going forward.
Did you check out the second? Or?
I did watch the second.
Did it continue?
It sort of, but it made me. It took a quarter step back. It was like I was all the way in the back. I was all the way in the back, and then I moved sort of forward, and then I was like, yeah.
NC Scat Cat.
Yeah, NC Scab Cat. Yeah. I know I didn't say that right, but anyway, it's intriguing. I think that the things that you were saying about it's a boxing movie, or it's a boxing show, serialized story about this guy and his life after boxing, during boxing, in being a lifelong boxer. And what does that mean? How does he fit in society? I mean, I think that it could say a lot of things about.
Love all that. Yeah.
All of this, what does a man do when, this is the NFL linebacker story. This is the lacrosse guy story, really. You know what I mean? It's anybody. It's the guy who's bagging groceries at your thing, and you find out he was on the Jets. You know what I mean?
Lacrosse guy. You're like, you're that lacrosse guy that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I loved your sack.
It's like, thank you.
Thank you. You put that in there so well. But so I don't know. So I'm right between you guys. A little bit more hesitant than Jeff, and I think I'm a little more excited than Dan.
Yeah, and let me just say, as far as boxing on TV goes, the 24/7 series is incredible, but I'm going to plug my own site here, because HBO did a promo for Boxing After Dark, and I put it up recently on One Cool Thing a Day, so if you go there and search for it, for boxing, it's 3 minutes long or something, or a minute and a half long. It's one of the greatest boxing stories ever told, and I wish this show was that. Did you didn't say it? Oh my God, you would love. It's amazing, amazing. I don't even want to say anything about it. But go to One Cool Thing a Day, search for boxing. It will floor you. And I wish Lights Out captured any of the magic in this.
Well, the good news is I'd love to check back in if you do continue watching it.
I'd be very curious, because I'm not gonna. You're gonna be my guy to say.
It's time to come back.
Yeah. Or.
And I just want to say
although
too.
you already like it more than me.
Yeah,
in just 2 weeks, Justified season 2 starts.
I know. I have to watch. I'm so excited.
Get on that train. If you're not already on that train, get on that train.
Yeah, you will all be justified. Or it's out on Blu-ray. Get the first season on Blu-ray. All right, remember to stick around for this day in rad history, but first, sponsors.
Well, I get to talk to you about Jack Threads, which is a great thing for me to talk about, because I honestly ask any female in my life, be it mom, sister, girlfriend, I'm terrible at shopping for clothes. I get sick of it As soon as I set foot in the store, Dan knows this.
Really?
I'm awful at shopping for clothes. Any female in my life. But Jack Threads is the solution for me. I honestly signed up myself for this. It's great. Every single day, they find cool clothes, awesome clothes that I actually want to wear, and they give them to me at like huge discounts, like 80% off I'm talking about. You get brands like Kid Robot, The Hundreds, American Apparel, way less than you would pay by even going into the store. And the crazy thing is, it's like a private club. So it's only to the people that are in the private club. Now, you're lucky because you're watching the Totally Rad Show.
Yeah, which is in itself a private club.
Exactly.
Open to the public.
We can give you access to this private club. Just go to jackthreads.com/TRS, and you'll get to skip the waiting list and become a member right away. So, it's free.
Amazing.
Which is very important to remember. It's free, and they just send you discounts. Like every morning, I look at my iPad and I get my Jack Threads thing, and I look at all the different clothes, and they're hugely discounted. It's cool. Wow. Super cool. So jackthreads.com/TRS.
Yep. All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Maybe we, jinx.com/TRS for also other clothes.
Amazing.
On tomorrow's show, we play some Media Mashup.
Today is January 27th, and on this day in rad history, way back in the year, not 1948. Actually, it was 1948, surprisingly.
It's a bizarre world.
It is. The first tape recorder sold. That is pretty cool. The first tape recorder was back in 1948.
Crazy.
That's
Weirdly, though, the
far
first
back
tape
epic.
recorder went on sale in 1943. It took 5 years for them to sell it.
Just sitting on that Macy's counter.
All facts not necessarily true.
Sent in by Chuck Lindbergh. Thank you very much. That's pretty crazy that it's been that long that tape has been around.
And now it's already gone. People don't even know. But it did last for quite till the 80s.
And you know what is really weird? On January 28th, 1948, the first person ever said, "That's how I sound on tape?"
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.